Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk about how you can gain real fans. Genuine, true fans that are going to invest in you, your journey, buy your music, buy your merch, and go to your gigs. True fans. I feel like this is something that all artists not necessarily struggle with, but obviously the goal is always to increase fan base, gain fans, get your music out there more. And I feel like however many fans you have, there's always that possibility for growth, and you always want more in a good way. You always want to increase and improve and build. So hopefully this video will have some do's and don'ts for how to do that. That will help you on your way. Okay, I'm gonna start with the don'ts. So please do not ever buy followers, likes, or streams. It's a waste of your money and it's not going to work. Numbers mean nothing. There is no point having thousands and thousands of followers that do not listen to your music and maybe aren't even real people. It's just a waste of your money. Just spend your money on your branding, your marketing, your social media ads, production, anything. Any other area deserves your money more than buying followers and streams. 2, do not spam people with your music and your links to your songs. If someone just receives a random link, they know nothing about you, they have no background, no story, no reason to click and listen. If, like, I've started getting quite a lot of messages, I know other people in the industry in similar roles have, and if they listened to all those songs, they would literally get nothing done. If they're not your target audience, there's no point you sending it to them. And sometimes I've got like really thought out messages as well, like really personalized thought out messages, and I really appreciate that. But again, it's a waste of your time. One personalized message to one person that probably isn't your target audience isn't the way to gain real fans. So on to the positive, I'm gonna give you some tips on how you can gain real fans. But it does take patience and it does take hard work at the beginning. Once you've done the initial groundwork, it will become easier and you will see faster results. But you do have to put in the effort initially. Okay, so step 1, you have to be authentic to yourself through your music, your visuals, your communication. There is no point doing something because you feel like it's on trend or it's going to have commercial success if it doesn't ring true to you. You've got to wait for your time, for your whatever is yours, to hit a point where it's successful. And obviously you can have goals with your music, but don't bend too much towards the staying on trend or doing what's right for now, because you just won't ever keep up. You're better off just staying authentic and making that work for you. And whatever genre you are, whatever style you are, you can still build a fan base if you do it correctly, no matter what the timing is. Yeah, the timing might never be right for you to have Elton John, Taylor Swift, Michael Jackson success, but whatever style and genre, I feel strongly that you can still have a good amount of success in that area, whether it's on trend, whether it's commercial or not, as long as you do things right. So I think it's important that obviously every aspect of your brand is cohesive. And an example of that is if you went into a shoe shop, for example, and they sold sporty trainers aimed at men. So everything was black and white, say, sporty, that's the brand. It's high end, they're good quality trainers. You buy a pair of trainers, you pay for them, and then you get given a ripped, muddy supermarket carrier bag to take them home in. You'd be like, what? Because the packaging doesn't reflect the product. And it's the same with the customer service. You expect the customer service in Louis Vuitton to be better than the customer service in Walmart, for example. So, and that relates to your product, which is your music, your visuals, which is the packaging, and your communication, which is the customer service. It is important that all of those are cohesive. Otherwise it's like, what? And that feeling that you would get in that shoe shop is what your fans would get. So if your music is really well produced, say it's commercial pop, it's really on trend, you're spending a lot on ads, but your branding is, you've just thrown something together and it's not professional, then that's just not going to work for you. Okay, so another example is if you go into that same shoe shop and you pay for your shoes and you get given them in a pink floral picnic basket. That's also wrong, because although the quality may be as good, it's the wrong audience and it doesn't match. So So again, your visuals and your communication have to reflect your music correctly. You can't just do what's nice or what's popular, or does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Hopefully that example made it easier to understand, not more confusing, but feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Okay, so next step is identify your audience. Now I know I've said this before, but it's so important, and all the while people are still sending messages to people, it means they haven't identified their audience. You have to make sure you know who is going to like your music or who already listens to your music. And to do this, you can look at artists that are similar to you and look at their fan base. You can reach out and ask if you've got some dedicated fans, then ask them about what they like, what they don't like, where they hang out, what social media platforms they use. Just find out a bit about them. Put out a story on Instagram or a post or whatever on your platforms, and just ask for some information on your audience if you don't know where to start with this. And then make notes on it. Try and create a little audience profile, and obviously there will be some variation. It doesn't have to be super niche, but just get an idea of your audience, or at the very least an idea of what other artists your fans would like. So yeah, that will help you. Yeah, so look at artists that are similar to you and look at what other artists your fans like. There should be some crossover there, hopefully. Okay, so this leads me on to step number 3. Create your content accordingly. So with all this information that you've got, also you can watch the 2 videos I've done on social media content ideas. I've got one for Instagram, one for YouTube. I'm going to go through all the platforms eventually. Use those and look at what other artists are similar to you or your influences. Look at the content they create and make a big list of content ideas. Just have a brainstorm, just throw loads of ideas out there. It doesn't matter how weird or wacky or unsure you seem at the time, just get a load of content ideas on the page and then go through and see what rings true to you. Again, this has to feel authentic. You have to be excited by making this content, because that energy and excitement and authenticity will then come through to your fans. Also, if you understand similar artists to you, your fan base, you're going to have a really good idea of what content to make that will engage them. I don't think it's helpful just to say make compelling content or make shareable content, because I know that's really vague and obviously that's always the goal. Okay, so make content that excites you and feels true to you and your brand. Plus, obviously, the research beforehand will help you make informed decisions about that as well. You could also collab with similar artists who are of a similar level to you. And it doesn't have to be musically, it could just be through social media. Just reach out, see if you can throw around some ideas and maybe do some sort of collab to make your audiences, cross over and find new music they love. Okay, so they are my do's and don'ts for finding real, genuine fans and for growing your fan base authentically. Obviously, the branding is a big part of this, so I'll link my branding video up here if you haven't done that already. I think those steps are really important and will give you a really good foundation to move forward. And obviously, once you've done these steps and you feel like you've got a good amount of genuine, real fans, then you can then look into marketing your music further and go into ads and all that route. But I would do all this groundwork first. And there was one other thing. Yes, remember that numbers don't matter. You're better off having 100 genuine fans than 1 million bought likes or streams. Okay, so just treasure the ones you do have and find out as much as you can about them and nourish them with content that excites them and excites you. Good luck, and I hope this was helpful, and see you next time.